Well, it is Healthy Living with Blessing. Today we are talking about weight management, and I have a wonderful doctor here, Dr. Nike Aladesuyi. She is a naturopath, and you want to keep fit. You just want your size to be moderate. She's here to take us through this wonderful topic, weight management. Pick up a pen, take your writing sheet, and put down the important things that you need to do. All right, Dr. Nike, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, let's know more of you.
Okay, my name is Nike Aladesuyi. I'm a naturopathic doctor. That's a doctor who treats using natural things. So basically what we do is take care of people who don't want to be sick or who are sick and are in need of help in one way or the other. But we just use natural things that are available to you by nature.
Wow. Talking about using natural thing. If somebody is having malaria,
Okay.
this thing is very common. This sickness, malaria, today malaria, tomorrow typhoid and all that.
Yeah.
What are those natural things
That
the
I would
person
use.
can use?
You'd be surprised at the things I would be using. The number one thing I'll be using for malaria is hot water. So if you look back, you remember when you fell sick as a child, mommy will put your face inside steaming hot water.
Yes.
That would be my first course if I'm treating malaria. That would be the first thing I'll ask any malaria patient to do.
To boil hot water and put your
And
face on
steam,
it.
of course, we can ask you to put essential oils to enhance. And then we use some herbs like garlic, like ginger, like turmeric. The only difference between what you'll be doing at home and what I'll be doing for malaria is my herbs would be regulated. So I would have them powdered, capsuled, or encapsulated, and you take it 222, 333, depending on weight, depending on age, depending on size.
Okay.
So basically, that's what we do for malaria.
Wow. All right, today we are taking a look at weight management. Talking about weight, the first thing that will come to everyone's mind is those big people. And we also have some slim persons that are weighty too.
True.
So how do you bring these two persons together to advise them or something?
Okay, talking about weight management, that to me means that we're talking about a variety of sizes. So it could mean someone who is slim, it could mean someone who is normal sized, it could mean someone who is big or large, as it were. Now, you mentioned that someone could be big and another one is slim, and they are weighing similar to each other, because your weight is basically when you step on the scale, what figure or value you get. Now, there are several things to put into consideration when you are looking at the weight of a person. One of the things we're looking at is the bone structure. For example, my bone structure is very slim. Okay. Your bone structure could be bigger than mine. So if we're going to be comparing, I won't be comparing my weight to yours, because the structure that is supposed to be heaviest in the body is slim on my side. We could also be comparing, we could be looking at the volume of fluid in the body. Some people drink fluids and they retain the fluid in the body. So you look at people who are bloated, not necessarily because they have extra fat. Then we look at people who have the extra fat. So there are different things to look at when we're looking at. Then there's another thing we do not look at usually when we're looking at somebody who is weighty or who is heavy. There is the fact that we keep eating.
Okay.
And we do not go to toilet regularly.
Okay.
And over the years, the fecal matter has stuck to the walls of the intestines. That in itself can contribute to 5 kg of anybody's weight. So if you can get that fecal matter out, you can get somebody who is weighing 60 to weigh 55 on the spot just by doing some therapies to get the fecal matter out. So weight basically is a function of several parameters.
Okay, so how do one manage his weight?
Okay, that's a good question. Managing your weight entails you know how you should look. That's the first thing. So there is a parameter we use to measure what you're supposed to look like. We call it the body mass index. So the body mass index is a measure of what you weigh on the scale in grams or kilograms divided by what you are in terms of height in meters. So what I do is your weight in kg divided by the square of your height. So for example, I weigh 60 and then I am 165 in height or 170 in height. So I would be doing 60 divided by 170 square.
Okay.
And that will give me my BMI. Now my BMI is usually supposed to be in a range. So the range should be between 18.5 and 24.5. Within that range, you are considered normal. So if your BMI is 19, your BMI is 20, 22, 23, 24, you are fine. So basically to maintain your weight, what you are looking at is ensuring that your BMI is within that range. If it's lower than 18.5, you are considered underweight. And that could mean some medical conditions. That could mean some questions medically. If it's higher than 24.5, there are issues too. You are considered either overweight. If it's higher than 25, you are considered, about 30, you are considered obese. And then above that, you are considered morbidly obese. And in medicine, it is believed that the bigger you are, the more likely you are to get some diseases. So it's better that your weight is between the range of the correct BMI.
Okay, what are the implications of overweight?
There are many. So growing up, we used to hear that the fat person is responsible. But it's not, it's not so any longer, because someone can be fat and person is not to be trusted. Yeah. So there are very many implications to being overweight. Cardiovascular diseases are very much very much rampant among overweight people. So people who are overweight are prone to cardiovascular diseases, that is heart-related issues like hypertension, like angina pectoris, and so on. People who are overweight are likely to get prone to type 2 diabetes. Okay, so let me start with the cardiovascular diseases.
Okay.
Every normal adult has about 5 liters of blood running in the body system. And that is notwithstanding your weight. So if you're as big as this, you're carrying 5 liters. You're as slim as I am, you're carrying 5 liters. You're slimmer than I am, you have about 5 liters. So the heart has to work harder in bigger people to get the blood to get to the extremities, the hands, the feet. So for those people, the heart usually begins to have issues. Then people who are overweight are prone to type 2 diabetes, which is sugar-indicated diseases. Okay. Because sometimes digestion becomes an issue with them. People who are overweight are unfortunately also prone to several other diseases like cancer, because toxins are stored in fatty tissues. So the adipose tissues store most of the toxins, and most of these things are then released when that fat is moved around the body to cause problems. So there are a lot of things. Apart from the fact that you and a fat person want to walk, you have to slow down for that person to. Somebody who is big wants to drive, he has to adjust the seat and the steering and several other discomforts. Someone who is fat will likely snore because the breathing is hampered by the fatty tissues all around the lungs and several other things.
Well, there are some slim persons that snore.
Yeah. There are some slim persons that snore. Like we said, being overweight is a function of several things. So being slim is not necessarily the only parameter you look at to say someone is healthy. There may be something going on in the lungs that make the person, or the throat or something that make the person need to snore.
Okay, so how can one manage his weight? Is it by jogging every morning, staying away from food? So how can one manage his weight?
There are several things you can do to manage your weight.
All right, in case you are just joining us, it is Healthy Living. And today we are talking about weight management. With me on the program is Dr. Nika. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, Tony Akinyemi is my name, and I've written about 20 books to date. More are in the offing. Out of the 20 published books, to my credit, 6 of them are on healthy living. And I want to recommend these resources to you, to access them either digitally online or to get your hard copies. For digital access, you can visit amazon.com or familabooks.com. And for physical copies, you can visit the Shepherd stores at 18 Shogunle Street, Abule Onigbagbo off Mobolaji Bankantoni Way, between Eko Hospital and Sheraton Hotel Ikeja, to obtain your copy. You can also contact the email address on the screen or the telephone number, or send a WhatsApp message, and you'll be guided as to where to get any of the copies. God bless you as you access these resources. They will inform you, and the information will help to transform your health and that of your family, as well as that of the people in your sphere of influence. God bless you and thank you.
Good to know that you're still there. It is Healthy Living, and we are still talking about weight management. My guest is still much around to take us through this program, Dr. Nika. So tell us, how can one manage his weight? Is it by jogging every morning, staying off food? How can one manage his weight?
That's $1 million question. But there are several things to be done to ensure that you are carrying about an optimum weight. One of the things I like to tell people to do is to drink water.
In the morning?
In the mornings and at other times too. So I tell people, drink water first thing in the morning, preferably warm water if you are trying to lose weight. It helps to rev up your metabolism. That will make sure that whatever you eat throughout the day, you are able to digest it quickly and get it out of your system. That is
with warm water.
With warm water. Another thing I tell people with regards to water is drink your water before and after your meals. Reduce the volume of water you are drinking with your food. That means I want to have lunch. I will drink my water like 30 minutes before and like 30 minutes after. So that while I am eating, I just have a cup of water beside me that I can sip at intervals. The reason for that is the stomach is supposed to be acidic. The pH of the stomach is supposed to be around 2 to 3. That's very acidic. And there are some enzymes that are supposed to be present in the stomach. Now, if I am eating and drinking so much water, the acid is going to be diluted. The enzymes are going to be diluted. So the digestion will not be as effective.
Okay.
Exercise is very important to weight loss. You cannot lose weight if you do not do some form of exercise. Now, exercising does not necessarily mean jogging. It could just mean that I'm walking around my house. It could just mean that I take strolls to the malls and back as against driving. It could just mean that I have a skipping rope handy and I'm able to skip from time to time. Of course, it could mean that you hit the gym and just slug it out at the gym. It's important to exercise. Number 3, for effective weight loss. Now we're talking weight loss now. It is important to eat only what your body needs. Gluttony is contrary to weight loss. So the food is nice, the food is delicious, does not mean you have to eat it. You must be able to control the volume you eat. And how? Chew your food slowly. Eat your food as slowly as it is possible, so that by the time you are full, you will not have overeaten. Then, another thing that is very, very important to weight loss is the type of food you eat. So, when we're talking about the type of food, I would say take a lot of fruits, a lot more of vegetables, and reduce the volume of cooked food that you eat. That is not to say you won't eat cooked food at all, but eat it sparingly.
Okay.
If you follow these tips, you will lose weight naturally. You will just find that the weight slowly drops. Of course, for some people who have health conditions and they are very big, sometimes we need to help them by giving them some herbs, by giving them some supplements to lose weight. But that is usually supposed to be a last resort.
Okay.
That's not supposed to be what you start with. That is done when, okay, the person has to lose the weight quickly or life will be at risk. So we do that kind of thing from time to time.
Okay, so now you've lost because there are some persons, once they lose weight, they go out of shape. Yes. Their body will become flabby. And so in such aspect of people, what is your advice?
Okay. If you are losing weight and you are getting flabby, it is usually because you are not exercising.
Okay.
Or you are losing the weight very fast. Those will be the two major reasons for you to lose weight. And people who are exercising but are losing the weight very fast, maybe they purge or they use some supplements, they will not even necessarily be flabby, they will wrinkle, they will shrink, they will look haggard.
Yes.
So for those two classes of people, two things are important. Number one, when you are going to be losing weight, ensure that you stagger it. So for me, when I have weight loss clients, I tell you we're doing minimum of 1 month. I don't believe in lose 5 kg in 2 weeks, lose 5 kg in 1 week, except the person is sick, and that will be the lifesaver. So that the person does not shrink, so that the person does not look flabby. Of course, anybody that is supposed to be losing weight should do exercises to tone up the muscles so that you don't get flabby. Those will be my own recommendations for those people.
Okay, now, if you are losing weight, is there any challenges that one might encounter as a result of this weight loss?
Okay, this also depends on how you do the weight loss. There's a lot of fad diets out there that tell you to eat a lot of things. Some say eat a lot of oils alone and high protein, blah, blah, blah.
A lot of eggs and
A lot of eggs. The side effects to those diets are terrible. One of it is fat deposited in the internal organs. So you find that those fats that you consume, you lose the weight, but those fats will now go and be deposited around your internal organs. So the person begins to have what we call bilateral obesity. So the stomach becomes a little bit big. One of the side effects also is that they have some brain fog. So you are eating just fats and protein. At some point, you begin to get a headache. Or you begin to forget things. Because carbohydrate is brain food. So that means you are starving your brain because you want to look good. And I've had 1 or 2 other very terrible side effects to those diets. My counsel is lose the weight slowly and steadily. After all, you didn't add the weight in 1 day. Why do you want to lose it in 1 day?
Some persons want to lose it within a week.
Yeah, you want to fit into a nice dress. After that, you fall sick and then there's trouble. It's not worth it. It's better you lose the weight slowly so that you avoid the dizziness, the headaches, the brain fogs, and several other things that can occur as a result of sudden weight loss.
Okay, all right, just before we go, what are those kind of food one will be eating to make sure that you maintain that your new look? Yes.
I like that question. To maintain a good look,
Yes.
you need to eat a lot of fruits. So, like I would have, for my breakfast, I would have just fruits. Watermelon, pineapple, oranges, mangoes when they're in season, agbalumo when it's in season, avocado. Oh, I absolutely love avocado. Avocado is very good for the skin, by the way. Okay. And it's very good for weight loss too. Then, for me, I always tell people the more local the food is, the better for you.
Okay.
I mean, I am of the opinion that the food in your locality is meant for your person as against the food that is brought from outside. So I encourage people to eat our local food. So if you're going to have lunch, I'll be talking about things like cassava, things like sweet potatoes, things like yam, things like beans, akpu, fufu, amala. Yes, you want to lose weight, but you still need to eat those things. So what I do is you have eaten your fruits in the morning, then before these ones, you eat a bit of some raw vegetables and top it with the local staples. For me, that will ensure that you consistently look good.
Wow. All right, just before we go, your advice to our viewers and listeners out there.
Okay, viewers and listeners out there, it's important that you stay healthy. It's important that you take very good care of yourself. And one of the ways to do is ensure that you manage your weight. So if you are underweight, it's also a challenge. You should try to get up to your optimum weight. If you are overweight, of course, we all know that you should slim down. Keep a good outlook, drink a lot of water, eat fruits and vegetables, and do take general care of yourself.
Thank you so much for your time on this program.
Thank you, for having me. Thank
All right,
you.
we look forward to have you again.
I hope so. I'll be glad to come.
Okay, that has been Dr. Nika taking us through this wonderful topic with management. Like she said that if you want to lose weight, make sure you stagger it. And also, remember to always stay healthy. Make it a habit. Don't forget to call us on the following numbers on your screen. I am expecting your call and your SMS. And also, keep a date with me next week for a fresh package. I am Blessing of Formio.